You hit what feels like a perfectly good shot. It catches a tree, it ricochets sideways, and ends up out of bounds. And you stand there shaking your head and say it out loud, or at least think it. Of course, why does this always happen to me? Now, think about the last time you hit a shot. It caught a tree and it kicked back into play. Can you even remember it? Or did you just walk up to the ball and say, okay, got away with that one, and you forget about it 10 minutes later? That gap between what you remember and what actually happens out there, that's today's episode. Because here's the thing, luck in golf is roughly 50-50. It has to balance out over time. But your brain isn't running a 50-50 scoreboard. It's running a very selective one, and that selective scorecard might be costing you more strokes than bad bounces ever have. So by the end of this episode, you'll understand exactly why your brain does this, what it's actually costing you, and one simple thing that you can try in the next round that will probably surprise you. All right, my friends, let's get to it. So do you ever feel like you're really unlucky? Do you know someone who feels like they get all the bad breaks? I can't believe that happened again. Here we go again. It only happens to me. Everybody else gets good breaks. I get bad breaks, right? It feels horrible. But decades of research shows our brains gives more weight to negative events than positive ones, roughly 2 to 5 times more. There's a famous research paper called Bad is Stronger Than Good. So one tree kick out of bounds doesn't feel like one tree kick out of bounds. It feels like 4 or 5. So you're not measuring luck, you're measuring emotional impact. Those are two completely different things. So once you decided you're unlucky, your brain starts working for that belief because your brain loves being right more than it loves being accurate. Right? Every bad bounce becomes evidence. Every good bounce becomes invisible. Or maybe even worse, it becomes, well, that's the way it's supposed to be. A British psychologist, Richard Weissman, studied lucky versus unlucky people for 10 years. He found that people who described themselves as unlucky were literally missing opportunities sitting right in front of them because they were scanning for one specific thing and filtering out everything else. And when he trained self-described unlucky people to notice differently, 80% reported their luck improved within a month. Right? That's amazing. So if you're scanning for bad breaks, you'll find them. It will become a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you're scanning for opportunities, the par save after a bad swing, the lie that wasn't as bad as it looked, the win that helped, you'll find those too. Same course, same round, different filter. One feels completely different than the other one. It shifts your momentum and it shifts your mood when all you're seeing are bad breaks and feeling unlucky or feeling like you're comparing yourself to somebody else and they're getting all the good breaks. So when a golfer decides, and this is where we can get into a victim trap, because when the golfer decides that bad things always happen to me, they stop looking for solutions. They become passengers, not players. Because if luck is the problem, there's nothing to work on. You're off the hook, but you're also stuck. The story that you're unlucky might just be costing you more shots than the bad breaks themselves. Some people even off the golf course, and do you know these people who have tied their whole identity to being unlucky? It can almost be protective. If you expect bad breaks, you don't have to be disappointed when they happen. Think about that. If I call myself a person who's not very lucky or always gets bad breaks or nothing good happens to me, we can give up a lot of responsibility too for our outcome and our results. Right? We start to feel like a victim. There's nothing I can do about it. Kind of lay down, so to speak. And we don't start thinking of ways to turn the round around. But watch any professional event. The best players in the world get mud balls, plugged bunker lies, tree kicks, putts that lip out, weather swings. I used to think that one. I play in tournaments and I always thought I always got the bad, morning tee time, afternoon tee time. And I always got the tee time that got the bad weather. I did used to think that. I actually just thought of that right now. I did used to think that looking back. Like, oh my gosh, they're so lucky. They got to play in the perfect weather. I'm playing in rain and wind. That's not fair. I'm sure I had plenty of rounds where I had the better weather conditions. I just dismissed it. Didn't give it any weight. But it happens to tour players too. And the difference is they don't spend 3 holes arguing with reality. Tour players make about 50% of putts from 8 feet. So when an amateur misses a 10-footer and says, I can't catch a break, I'm so unlucky, I don't make any of them. They're actually describing a normal variance and labeling it as misfortune. That's not bad luck, that's golf. So this is the thing, the bad bounce costs you one shot. The emotional spiral after it, the mood that you get into when you get down on yourself and negative about your round, the tight grips, rush tempo, and the screw it club selection, the carryover into the next couple of holes, that's what costs you. That costs you 3 or 4 more shots. So this is an exercise I've given some of my clients who feel enormously unlucky out on the golf course, is I want you to spend a round where you just tally and look for good breaks. The shot that hit in the rough and bounced back into the fairway. The ball that rolled through a divot and is on the other side of it. The ball that ran through the bunker instead of staying in it. The times that you misread a putt, also made a bad stroke, pulled it, and made it. I've done that one before. The times where the wind gusted right when you're hitting a drive and you got an extra 10 yards. Or you pushed it a little bit and it blew out of the right and got your ball back to the edge of the fairway or the green. The times where you got most of your round in good weather versus the people who teed off after you, where you hit it into the trees and it goes through them. I can't be any luckier. That trees are 90% air kind of concept. Yeah, your ball went right through them. Versus the, oh my gosh, trees are 90% air and I hit the 10%. So I want you to go out and actually look for all the times, keep a tally on your scorecard of how many good breaks you get. You're going to change the lens you're looking through. You're going to change what you're scanning for. You're going to give equal airtime to all those breaks, meaning you're not going to put more weight on one or the other. It's just 50-50. Life is 50-50. Golf is 50-50. And feeling like you're unlucky with the game of golf or that you never get any good breaks is not serving you. It's actually costing you lots of shots. This isn't just about golf, this is life. So whatever you scan for, whatever you believe in, you will find evidence of it. So what do you want to look for on the golf course? And I'm suggesting go out there and look for all the good breaks that you've had. All right, my friends, if you want to know how many shots your mental game is costing you, make sure you head to quiz.mymentalcaddy.com and take a 2-minute assessment. And after that, I'd love to see you in Your Mental Caddy at yourmentalcaddy.com. Have a beautiful week, and I'll talk to you next Wednesday. Bye.